list of fruits like apple, banana, and a cherry. And I want to print all the elements of fruits list, so I can use for fruit in fruits print fruit. So you can see that uh, each element of fruits is printed. So the second use of uh, suppose you have a text like hello, and you want to print all the characters of this text list, so you can use for char in text. So always remember that the end of for loop, uh, it is a colon there. Okay, now you can use print function to print all the characters. So you can see that hello is printed. Now the third use of for loop with range function. So what is range function? So range function, if it is 5, then so 0 is a starting point and 5 is the end point. So in Python start from 0 base. So but in range function the end is excluded. So the range is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I want to print all the elements of range function. So I can use for I in range is equal to 5. Okay. At the end this print is I. Okay. So uh, there is some problem for I in range 5. Now print I, and you can see that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 is printed. So in range 5 there are 5 elements 0, 1, 2, 4, 3, 4. Okay. Now I will talk about nested loop, nested for loops. So nested for loop means loop inside a loop. So suppose for I in range 1 to 4, okay, this is your outer loop, and for j in range 1 I plus 1, I plus 1, and again you have to put colon. Now if you print star, print star, okay, and with this, now I go for the print. So there is some mistake here. It will show something wrong that I don't want. Okay, let's see what is. So it has printed star uh, 6 times. Okay, I don't want it. I want the right right angle triangle pattern. Okay, nested loop is used for printing the patterns loop inside a loop. Okay, and so what I can do, I will take copy hold the chunk of the code, and so what is our mistake, that it should come here. Okay, sorry, it should come here. Now I will go for it and paint it. You can see that it's a right angle triangle. So there is a outer loop. It outer loop tells how many rows we want, and the inner loop tells us that how many stars we want in each row. Okay, so outer loop, you can see that it will print 1 2 3, so there are 3 rows there. And inner loop, it will run, it is dependent on the number of, what is the value of I. Okay, so the next is, suppose uh, suppose we had we want 10 rows. Okay, so we will put 10 11 here. Okay, suppose 11 here. Okay, now let's see what is our output. So outer loop is for how many rows we want, inner loop is that in each row how many stars we want. Okay, and so next is loop function, for loop with enumerate function. So for loop is used with enumerate function. Enumerate function gives index and the value element from their list function. Okay, so what we will do, suppose we have a list of names Tom, Dick, and Harry, Jerry. Suppose Jerry B. Now we want to know that what is the index and what are the elements are there in name list. Okay, so we can use that index and name in enumerate and names. So basically the enumerate function return two outputs. That's why we have taken index and name. So the first output will be the index, the position of the element, and second output is the name. What is the element in the list? Okay. So we have taken two variable, index and name, for the two outputs from the enumerate function. Now we want to print. So we will use f. This f is formatted string, that we want to embed the index and name together. We want to print the embedded two outputs together. Okay, so f is used. Now index and then curly bracket name and then star and then close. So this curly bracket is that it's a variable, in each loop. After each loop it will varies. It will vary. Okay. So what we can do? Suppose we print it. So you can see here the output is embedded. Index and name are embedded, uh, combined together. Okay. So at zero location, Tom is there. One location, Dick is there, and two location, Cherry is there. And I already told you that Python start from zero base, zero indexing. Our programming start with one base, one position. Okay, this is the difference between the Python and R programming. So the use of next for loop with zip function. So zip function combine lists, two lists, and show the output. Okay, let's see. Suppose we have a names again Tom, Dick, and Harry, and Jerry, and we have again the respective ages of Tom, Dick, and Jerry. Suppose he is 20, Tom is 20, 24, and 26. Okay, so now we want to print them together and in a good way, like for name comma age. These are two variables in zip. So I already told you that zip function combine two lists together and give two outputs. Okay, so what are the lists are there is okay, and again column is there. Now we want to print them, print and embedded print. Okay, embed 2. So name is a variable, and is and years old dot. Okay, so let's see. So there is some uh, syntax error detected in line 2, print f. So we check it again. Why there is a problem? Okay, so you can see that we didn't close it. Now let's see it. So you got it. Tom is 20 years old, Dick is 24. You can put some space over there. Okay, now it looks good. So Tom is 20 years old, Dick is 24 years old, Jerry is 26 years old. Now the next use of for loop is list comprehension. What is it? So what it is? So suppose we have squares. We want the squares of, suppose, x and 2 to 2. You know that 2 stars is like x square, x की power 2. Okay, 4 x in range 10. So 10 range means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So for x in range, so for x is each element in range 0 to 9, we want the square of x. Okay, and in the format of a list, and then we want to print the list. So we did it. Now we want to print the squares. Okay, let's see. So you can see that the range is from 0 to 9, and each element is squared, and then we have printed the square. So there are so many ways to do this thing. Okay, the loop, for loop with list comprehension, it has shortened the code. We will do this with some different way. Let's see. Suppose x is equal to uh, x is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. Now for I in x, print I square. Let's see what happens. So you can see that each element of x is printed in the square format, in the square of each element is printed. But we want in the list format, it is not still in the list format. It is 1, 2, 3, 4 in a new line. We want it in a list format. How we can do this? So to do this, we will take a empty list. The name is square. It's an empty list. Okay, we have taken an empty list, and for I in range 1 to 10, what we will do, we will square is equal to I star star 2. Now, so from I to range 10, from 0 to 9, each element is a square. And so in first loop, first loop, what will happen? It will square the first element, okay, and put it in a square. Now I want to append. Yesterday we learned about append function. Yesterday in the last class we learned about append function. Append function add the element to the current or present list. Okay, so the present empty list is squares, and it will append the square. Okay, now we will print it. We will what will print? We will squares. Okay, we will print the squares. Let's see what is the output. So you can see that from in first loop there is one element. In second loop there's two elements. So when there is a 10th iteration or 10th repeat of for loop, there are 10 elements are there. Okay, but we don't want the output in this format. We want the output in previous format. That we want only the last row. We don't want it. So how we can do this? We can do this by this. So you know, in coding, the indentation is very much important. You know, so this is the indentation that we want the output in the last, at the last. Okay, so what we can do, so this is a problem. Okay, so first we will run this code only, and now this loop has been run, repeated. Now we will print the square, and now you will see that. So why why uh, there are two times, our output is two times, because we already we have run this for loop two times. Okay, our square list already had 0 to 81, and so this was our mistake. What we should do, how we should correct this mistake? We should take this thing, and so now the square list is empty. Okay, and then we again run this for loop. Okay, now we will print the squares. Now you got what, you got the output what you want to get. Okay, you already, so there are different ways that you can write the code, but you see that the list comprehension shorten, how much shorten list comprehension did it, you just write the code in two sentence. Here we wrote the sentence in one, two, three, four, five sentences. So this is the thing that is very much important. Now the next use of for loop is break function. Break function with for loop. So break function break the loop. Let's see how it works. For I in range 10, if I is equal to 5, and I want to break the loop, and then print. Okay, I, so so there are indentation problem. Okay, your indentation should be right, correct. For I in range 1 to 10. Okay, now if I is equal to 5, then break the loop and print I. Okay, so the problem is that, so if condition is if I is equal to 5, so it will print from 0 to 4. When I is equal to 5, The break function will break the loop and print all the i's. Okay. So for I in range 10, if I is equal to 5, so when at the first I is equal to 0, so I is not equal to 5, so it will not break and it will print 0. Then 1 is not equal to 5, so it will not break and print 1. Then 2, 3, 4 and 5. When it will come to 5, 5 is equal to 5 and it will break the loop. So already 0 to 5 is, let's repeat it. Okay, suppose we have I is equal to 9. Okay, so what should be the output? 0 to 8. So what it did, what is the condition? Condition is I is equal to 9. When I is equal to 9, it will break the loop. Okay, but before, when condition is not true, it will print I. So from 0 to 8 it will print, but at 9, 9 is equal to 9, so it will break the loop. Okay, then we have continue function with for loop. So this is use for skip and iteration. How it works? Suppose for I in range 10, then if I, and this is called modulo operator, and it gives the remainder. So if remainder is equal to 0, it will continue. If remainder is 0, it will continue. Otherwise, it will print I. Okay, so what it will do? So when I is equal to 0, the remainder is 0, so it will continue. So for all the even numbers, the remainder, when they are divided by 2, remainder is 0. So the loop will continue. It will not print the I value of I. So it will not print even numbers. But when there is a odd number, the remainder is not 0, so it will print it. Print the odd value, okay, odd number. We want to print only the even numbers. How we can do this? So what we have to just make a slight change to this function, and we have to add is not equal to, and this thing should print even numbers in that. Okay, so, and the last use of for loop with iteration on dictionary. Suppose we have a dictionary. Again, Tom. This is the format of dictionary. Dictionary is a key value pair in Python. Dictionary start with curly bracket. The first is a key, before colon is a key, and after colon it is a it is a value. So you know that English dictionary, that we have some English word and then we have what is the meaning of this. So this is the same kind of thing. Okay, so we have a dictionary. Now we want to print these key value Tom and 20 together in a different way. So we have a name, we have is in dictionary dot items. So item is a function that is used to use the key and values of a dictionary. Okay. Now we want to print them, but we want to print them in a together in a embedded format, and this is a name. So it's a variable. Then we have is, and then we will close it and this it. Okay. So let's see. So Tom is 20, Tick is 24, and Jerry is 26. There are so many typing mistakes over there. Please forget them. So uh, for today's that's it. Thank you for watching it. See you tomorrow.